A New York Times blockbuster raising even more questions about the timing as well as the motivation for Donald Trump's sudden firing of James Comey, the FBI director. Days before the firing of Comey, which was about 48 hours ago, James Comey went to the Justice Department to ask for more money for the investigation into Trump-Russia collusion. According to multiple congressional officials, including Senator Dick Durbin, the Justice Department is run by Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who, after lying about multiple meetings with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak, said he would be recusing himself from anything relating to Russia. This is the same Jeff Sessions who, according to the letter from Trump explaining the firing of James Comey, recommended that James Comey be fired. Red alert, we need an independent prosecutor. The guy who said, Jeff Sessions, that he would not get involved in anything Russia related because he lied about Russian meetings, is the same guy running the department that was asked for more money to investigate his boss, Trump and Russia, and then was cited as the person who recommended the firing of the person running the investigation. And adding to the strange circumstances is that the Department of Justice is saying, oh, Comey asked for more money? No, those reports are totally false, which to believe at this point would require believing that there's yet another conspiracy to concoct lies out of thin air, which is a bit too big of a pill to swallow right now.
And now Ron Wyden, who is a Democratic senator from Oregon, is calling for the resignation of Jeff Sessions because he promised the country he was going to stay out of this Russia probe.
Yep.
We do need a special prosecutor. Only problem with that is that would have to go through Congress, and then Trump would have to sign off on it.
Yeah.
So that's a big task, getting through a Republican Congress, and then the guy who has the investigation against him would have to sign off on that. I don't see that happening.
It's a closed loop. It's a totally closed loop of lack of independence. And obviously, the timing of the money requests alone isn't proof that the firing of Comey was about Russia. The recommendation from Jeff Sessions isn't proof. The fact that Comey was going to testify today about Trump-Russia isn't proof. The Sally Yates testimony on Monday blowing the story wide open, it's not proof. None of it's proof. But it all looks pretty damn bad. I guess it's just all coincidence, Pat. These are just mere coincidences.
Oh, yeah. The Trump team asserts that this had nothing to do with the Russia probe. It was entirely because of James Comey's treatment of Hillary Clinton and the email investigation, circumventing the chain of command. It was all that stuff.
Who could believe that at this point? Who could believe that? Only the most committed ideologue. And anyone expecting James Comey's firing to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, so to speak, don't be so sure. There are people all over the media congratulating Trump on the firing. Turn on Fox News, Sean Hannity talking about just how great it is. This is all an insult to the intelligence of clear-thinking people. But lots of Trumpists still don't want to see the obvious. And I believe we are maybe going to see an avalanche of leaks and leakers starting very soon. When will the country be up in arms about this? This is a good time. I read this morning about some protests demanding an investigation into the firing of James Comey itself. Smoking gun we talk about. There are smoking guns after smoking guns. It's resembling Nixon more and more. And what we have to remember here is that if Trump is impeached, which is not looking particularly likely given who would have to start that impeachment process, if Mike Pence becomes the president, it will get really boring and arguably as a result more damaging to the country because of all the things Mike Pence would be able to do as a committed right-wing ideologue that would not make headlines in the way that Trump's craziness makes headlines.
That's true, and possibly, we're going down the road here, but if Donald Trump gets impeached, it's not too far off to think that Mike Pence would as well, because Pence joined the Trump campaign in July. You'd have to think there'd be some overlap there with the Russia ties.
There's no doubt that Pence is just as involved in the Russia stuff and knows about it as anybody else. But in the hypothetical, you have to at least consider the possibility that Mike Pence becomes president of the U.S.